Hello, everyone. It's Vicky from the future popping in at the beginning of this episode just to give you guys a little heads up about some, shall we say, technical difficulties we encountered. Unfortunately, this means that you will only be receiving one episode this month. I know, what a bummer. Just imagine it's even more of a bummer for us that has to re-record. But we are happy to do it because we want to bring you guys the quality stories that you love. So look forward to having our lost episode sometime in probably December. But for now, this will have to do. Enjoy the show.
What they discovered upon their arrival was almost unspeakable.
We are all evil in some form or another.
I'm not guilty.
The dead won't bother you. It's the living you gotta worry about.
If I couldn't keep them there with me whole, at least I felt that I could keep their skeletons.
Hello and welcome to the Bad Taste Crime Podcast. I am Vicky.
Oh my God, I'm Rachel.
And we are back from our long fall break. We have literally skipped over fall. We are in winter.
There's snow outside.
It snowed for the first time last night. Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Wasn't ready for it. But
No.
How are you? How was the little break that we took?
You know, it's been good. I feel like both of us came back from our break with new lore and new chapters in our lives.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
We had a long talk before we started recording because there has been a lot to catch up on in our lives.
Smoking sesh.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. But we are here.
We're ready.
We're back.
We're in the mindset.
We like to catch up with you just before the tail end of the year, before we go into the new year, to regale you with some more stories of the horrifying.
Get ready. You guys
Get
ready.
I thought you were going to say get wrecked.
Get wrecked. Get fucking wrecked with our crimes.
I'm very excited to be back.
Yes.
It was definitely a much needed break.
It was, but it's like nice to be back.
It is great to be
We're
back.
in the studio.
And if it's your first time listening, a special hello to you.
Welcome
Extra special.
in.
Welcome in.
We love you.
We are going to head over to the newsroom.
Let's go there.
Fit to breathe, our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad.
Our news this week from the BBC comes from Australia.
Good day, mate.
Have you ever heard of an artwork called the Blue Blob?
I thought you were going to say, have you ever heard of Australia? And I was like,
Have you
no.
ever heard of Australia?
And no, I have not.
So it's an art piece called Cast in Blue. Let me show you a picture of it here. Hold on.
If you're at home, just imagine. I'll describe it to you. Oh, it's blue as fuck.
Yes.
It's like a big old fat blue guy.
It's like a man
I
with
love
sort of
it.
an anteater nose.
I kind of love it.
And he's sort of hunched over as if a sloth was walking up.
Yeah.
Right? And with like a little bit of that beer belly kind of thing. Except
really
he is
cute.
Entirely blue.
Yeah, very blue.
Like the bluest blue. There's that one blue pigment that is like the most blue.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called, but it's like that color.
It's like the most gorgeous shade of blue.
Yes,
It's
okay.
really cute.
So there's this artwork called Cast in Blue that is known locally as Blue Blob.
Okay.
And
That's fair.
Yes.
I like it, but it is a blue blob.
So a 19-year-old Australian teenager, Amelia Vanderhorst, is actually charged and appeared in court for allegedly defacing the statue.
Amelia.
By, I have another
no.
picture to show you.
Oh, God.
She has defaced the statue by putting big googly eyes on it.
But now it's perfect.
Which I think is hilarious. However,
I love it.
In taking off the googly eyes, the adhesive got stuck to the statue.
It removed the color.
It like removed the paint on and some of the plaster on the outside.
So now it's like scratched.
Yeah.
It kind of looks bad. You know what they should do is put the fucking googly eyes back on.
I agree.
That made it 200 times better.
It was great. Yeah. But not what it's about. Not what the artist originally intended.
Okay, you know what? Art is subjective. And subjectively, it needs googly eyes.
And I agree. And So it's caused all of this damage, costly repairs.
What
They're
a
saying,
rascal.
$89,000.
Shut
I'm
up.
sorry, $89,000 it cost for the entire piece of artwork.
Oh, okay.
for
Okay. I
it.
was like, for blue
Sorry,
paint.
not to fix it. But they did say the damages were costly.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was in court in South Australia for defacing the artwork. She said that she didn't enter a plea. She told the court she was sick. And so she's getting time to get a lawyer, and she will be back in December for her next court date. But
She's probably sick about hearing this big old fucking blue blob. She was probably drunk and put eyes on it. Now she's like,
That's
in
what I'm
this whole
thinking.
kerfuffle. She's like, oh my God.
it is so cute with the eyes on it.
I think it's so
It really
cute.
is. I know
It
it's not
looks
what the
really
artist intended, but
it looks like something out of Adventure Time.
God damn, it's real cute. Yeah,
It's
it
like
does.
so cute.
It does.
I
Or
kind of
like
want like a little like 3D printed.
like Gumball.
it does look
like
like
it
Gumball.
kinda-
I love Gumball.
Yeah, it's it's back. They did
Yeah.
a reboot of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I met one of the kids who voiced one of those kids.
Oh yeah, where?
I worked with his cousin at Donley's because he was also in. Of course I don't remember the name of the show, but it's like one of those like family sitcom shows. So he was this like cute little like 7-year-old like little like curly headed, and I was like, oh my God, I've like
fun.
heard your voice like for years. It was so weird.
Fun. Well, we're going to move on to Netflix
famous.
and chill. This week, we actually have a twofer because these two need to kind of be talked about in conjunction.
Ooh.
So
Conjunction.
we are talking about, it's a 2021 docuseries called John Wayne Gacy, Devil in Disguise. And the newly released 2025 series, Devil in Disguise, John Wayne Gacy.
Okay, I see.
These are both on Peacock. They're both Peacock
I
originals.
want to see your peacock.
For everybody who has been listening to the show for a long time, you'll know John Wayne Gacy is kind of like my
Your, like, formative
entryway.
crime,
It's
yeah.
like my entry into true crime, right?
Absolutely.
So, of course, I was interested in these. I knew the documentary series was out. I just hadn't watched it yet.
Right.
And then this series dropped recently, and I was like, well, that, this there's a lot of these series that are like fictionalized,
Right.
sort of retellings.
ID, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm thinking more a la Ryan Murphy, Netflix, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I know you're not a Ryan Murphy fan, but the Ed
Oh
Gein
my
one,
God, that
we'll
new
talk
one
about
was
the Ed
so
Gein
bad.
one. It's so good.
What a joke.
I disagree. We'll talk about it on another show though.
Terrible.
So anyway, but there's a lot of those types of series happening right now. So I was like, well, let's see if the Peacock one is good or not. So I watched it.
What do you think?
Was unimpressed after the first episode.
Okay.
But then it got better.
It grew on you.
It grew on me. It
Like
really
a
did.
Clowny fungus.
Part of it is because, and this is also the issue that I have, I think it's a me issue. This is the issue that I have with the documentary series as well.
Okay.
Which, again, it's about John Wayne Gacy's life. It includes, there was a really long interview with him in prison. That is in there, and some other commentary. There's a lot of his, a couple family members that are interviewed, family members of the victims that are interviewed.
Yeah.
It's, but
Extensive.
I am so, I know so much about this. Like, I've researched this particular case so much.
Yeah.
That it is, I don't want to say it's not as interesting to me, but it's like all stuff that I know already.
You're like, I've heard it.
Yeah. And so there in the series, the 2025 series, there are parts, I think, especially in the first episode, that you can tell. And again, I just know this from my research into it.
Right.
You can tell that are lines pulled direct from like police interviews or notes or things that they're like, this is the line that you have to deliver this way.
Right.
And that piece of it was like,
yeah, a little can.
but it's almost like as the series went on, the acting got a lot better. And the guy that got to play John Wayne Gacy was very good.
Oh, good.
Actually, I think the casting was really great in this movie.
That's always so good.
But I also think they treated it in a really interesting way because to spoil just a hair, the first episode begins with Robert Peast, who is the last person to be reported missing before it's like discovered that he had all these bodies in his crawl space.
Right.
So it starts there.
Okay.
And
Oh,
literally
wow.
the first episode ends with John Wayne Gacy being arrested in the first episode.
Okay.
So it's sort of the stories of some of his victims. It's sort of told in flashback as he's like being convicted and they're investigating his house. It's like sort of being told in flashback throughout. So it's not just like a start from the beginning, follow him through all of his crimes type of things. It's like him
I kind
going
of like that though.
Yeah. And they did it really well.
Good.
At the end of every episode, the victims that they portrayed in those episodes, they showed their pictures. They talked about,
good.
They like gave, I think like the years or whatever. And they also provided a website for, it's like sexual abuse type of, so, there's like
they
a
like
reference
summarized everything
website.
really well.
Yeah.
Good.
So I think they treated it with a lot of respect.
Good. That's really important.
It was a pretty accurate portrayal. I mean, obviously, there's always things in there that are somewhat fictionalized, but like generally speaking, I think it was a pretty accurate portrayal of like what the fuck was going on. I actually really enjoyed it. I think simply because it was sort of a different take on like the storytelling.
That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, I would definitely check it out. The docuseries, if you're not that familiar with the case, is good. It's fine. It's one of these things that I have on in the background. Again, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just not that into it. I just know too much, I think.
She knows too much.
I know way too much. These are both on Peacock. Easy to find. Just search John Wayne Gacy. I'm sure you'll be able to find them.
Have you ever heard the theory that he never painted any of those paintings that he sold in jail? He paid other prisoners to paint them.
I have.
He had like a whole like business running where he would get them to paint for him. Isn't that interesting?
I have. I think it's a little of both. I think he did some of them, and I think he did hire some of them.
I think he has too much ego to not have any.
Yeah, but he would have complete control over what they're doing because he was that fucking manipulative.
Yup.
Anyway,
crazy.
We're gonna move on. This is that part of the show where we say content may not be appropriate for all listeners.
It's not.
We realize we are coming back full on holiday season.
Festive.
If this episode comes out on time, Thanksgiving will just be days away.
Oh, such a nice family holiday.
And you know we love a fucking theme episode.
Of course.
Of course we do. And whenever it's Thanksgiving, it's always familicide because you have to remember it's a time of being with your loved ones Christmas and sometimes your not so loved ones.
Yeah.
And eating a lot of food.
Love that part.
Being all together in one place. Thanksgiving is probably my least favorite of all of the holidays.
I don't like Easter.
Well, I mean,
Easter's kind of useless.
Easter, it's Christians like it.
Right.
Candy. I'm always a fan of a candy holiday.
I'm an adult. I can go and get candy.
There's no Thanksgiving candy. Yeah, but I got to tell you, there's certain candies that come out only at certain holidays.
That's true.
And the sweet tarts that they release at Easter that are the chicks and bunnies are the best sweet tarts that they make.
I like the
I'm just putting that out there, my opinion.
The like jelly beans, not the like old people jelly beans.
Yeah.
The like Starburst jelly beans.
Right.
Love those.
So you can't get those any time of year. I mean, you probably could online, but they cost a lot more.
You right.
Just
I rescind what I said.
It's only because of the candy. It's a candy holiday. Anyway, so Thanksgiving is upon us again, and here we are. We've definitely done this before. I've done a familicide episode of Thanksgiving. I mean, it's appropriate, right?
Right.
Familicide, family annihilators, essentially folks who decide for whatever reason that the rest of their family needs to exist no longer.
Bye.
So that's what we're talking about. It's going to be pretty gruesome.
Yeah.
It's not going to be great.
I'll be real. One of my least favorite topics.
Yeah, sorry.
Was dreading it just a little bit.
Sorry, girl.
But we're here. I'm tough.
We diverse in this bitch. We talk about all types of crimes.
We're all here together, holding each other's hands.
So we're going to start this week with the Caffey family murders.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So located in Alba, Texas, which is like a really tiny town.
Yeah.
It's, I think, smaller than Union, which is where I grew up. Yeah. Very tiny.
Whoa.
The Caffey family was made up of Mother Penny, Father Terry, and their children, 13-year-old Matthew and 8-year-old Tyler, and 16-year-old Aaron.
Oh.
There's so many typos in that sentence. I don't know what I was doing when I started typing this. Jeez.
You were thinking about Thanksgiving.
I guess. The family were part of the Marital Faith Baptist Church.
Eesh.
And devout Christians. Of course, speaking
They
of
probably
Easter.
loved Easter. Yeah.
They fucking loved Easter.
Not even for the candy. For the love of the game.
They were even homeschooling their kids with Bible-based curriculum for about 3 years prior to the stuff that we're going to talk about
Wouldn't
today.
recommend doing that.
Yeah. The entire family, it seems, was involved in the music side of things with the church. Erin was involved in the choir. She played piano. I think they talk about her being the organist possibly for the church as well. In 2007, Erin was working at a Sonic. You've been to Sonic?
Yum.
Okay, the burger
Delicious.
place, where she...
Have I been to Sonic?
Yeah, I know.
My husband is the world's largest icy enjoyer.
Yeah.
If there's
when they finally came to
Illinois,
Illinois, it was a very big deal.
formative event in my life.
Yes, when Sonic showed up in Rockford. Yep. So at the Sonic, she was working there. She met 18-year-old Charlie Wilkinson.
Okay.
Now, Charlie was described by Oxygen as, quote, a somewhat rough and tumble outdoors type. This is from Texas Monthly. Quote, he always seemed to be broke, and he drove a beat-up 1991 Ford Explorer that had to be push-started. He was good-looking in an unassuming kind of way, with sandy hair and light blue eyes, and he nearly always wore Wranglers, black cowboy boots, and oversized Western hat.
Ew. I mean, I guess it is Texas.
It's Texas. Yeah, we are in Texas, let me remind you, so that's pretty normal.
All right, I'll let it go.
The two hit it off and began a romantic relationship, which is something that Erin's parents were probably not big fans of.
I would assume.
Given their religious background.
They're like, son, take off the hat at the dinner table.
Yeah,
you
literally.
cannot wear that hat into church.
Please, too big. Erin decided she was tired of the homeschooling situation and had asked her parents to return to public school.
Good for you.
And they agreed. Part of this, I think there was a return for a couple of the kids, and it had to do with childcare and working and things like that.
Right.
So she goes back to school. This is perfect, of course, for Erin and Charlie's budding relationship because they went to high school together. And now they could spend even more time together.
Yeah.
Which is great. So Charlie had, at around this time, given Erin a promise ring.
Okay.
That formerly belonged to his grandmother. Ooh. And it was his grandmother's engagement ring.
Whoa.
And
that's like Taylor Swift lyrics.
She said, grandma's engagement ring.
Ew.
And she started wearing it around.
Okay.
And the family noticed at a church function that she was wearing it. And Penny was like, you got to return this. You got to give it back. You gotta break up with this guy. Tried, they were like, all right, time's for this relationship to be done.
Right.
So, like I said, they were initially tolerant of it, but when Erin's grades started slipping, they were like, you gotta break up.
Right.
Penny and Terry decided to look into Charlie a little bit more, and they started browsing his MySpace page, which had references to sex and profanities.
What?
Yep. And they were not super big fans of that.
Not profanities.
Either. Not the fucky words. Yeah. When Erin began breaking her phone curfew, remember those?
Erin.
Terry and Penny demanded the couple separate. Obviously, she was upset. And it was at this point that Erin started chattering to people about killing her parents.
Oh, dear.
This was the only way that she and Charlie could be together, she believed. For about a month, Erin and Charlie began planning how they'd do it. And they even enlisted Charlie's friend's 20-year-old Charles Wade and his girlfriend, 18-year-old Bobby Johnson.
Jeez.
By March 2008, they seemed ready to carry out their plan. Early in the morning hours, around 3 a.m. on March 1st, 2008, Erin, Charlie, Bobby, and Charles put their plan into action. While Erin waited in the car with Bobby, Charlie and Charles entered the Caffey home. The two found Penny and Terry's bedroom and began shooting. Penny was shot multiple times with a .22 pistol, and when the gun jammed, Charles pulled out a samurai sword to finish the job, nearly decapitating Penny.
Oh, my God.
They then shot Terry 5 times, and they kind of said, well, we have to take care of the kids. It's unclear if they were like, we have to take care of it.
Right.
There are claims that Aaron was like, well, make sure that you take care of the kids because they'll talk. So they go off. They go upstairs. They shoot Matthew in the head before stabbing Tyler with the sword, leaving them both to die. Aaron had also, prior to this, relayed that there was $2,000 stashed somewhere in the house. So they started looking and searching the house for valuables while the rest of the Caffey family just died in the house. God. So they end up leaving with only about $375. They then used lighter fluid and set the house on fire before leaving with Aaron and Bobby. However, what they didn't realize is that Terry was still alive.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. Realizing that the house was on fire and frankly that he was even still conscious at all.
Right.
And he's like grappling with the fact that he just had to watch his wife die next to him.
Yeah.
Terry manages to get out of the house via a window and crawls for an hour to the nearest neighbor's house to call for help.
Oh my God.
And in later interviews, he talks about like, I knew Charlie. Like they knew Charlie.
Yeah.
So he was like, all I could think about was identifying this guy. Like that was literally the only thing that was driving me at this point was to live long enough to identify.
The fact he didn't pass out or anything is crazy.
And he was shot 5 times.
God.
Yeah.
It's like 50 Cent.
All right. Yeah.
Jeez.
So he gets to the neighbor's house. They were able to call 911 and emergency services was quickly dispatched. Terry was taken to the hospital where he had emergency surgery, but survived and was able to identify Aaron's boyfriend, Charlie, as one of the attackers.
Yep.
Now, thanks to the identification from Terry, police were able to go directly to the trailer where Charlie was staying on the same day that the murders happened. They just go, because this, like I said, this was like 3 or something in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Like early. So like the same day. When they arrived, not only did they find Charlie at the trailer, but they also found Aaron, who at that point was claiming that she had been kidnapped.
Yeah.
And Aaron, like armed with this information, Aaron is taken to the hospital and she was tested for Rohypnol and GHB, a lot of like memory loss drugs, all of which came back negative. There were also no signs of smoke inhalation from the burning home, which like burned to the ground, basically.
Yep.
In very short order after that, Charles and Bobby were also arrested. Police thinking Aaron was, they at this point were still thinking she's like collateral damage in all of this.
Right.
Decides to take her as well as her grandparents immediately to see her dad in the hospital. But while they're on the way, they get a call that Aaron is actually a suspect. And they like pull over, they put Aaron in handcuffs in front of her grandparents, like, because now she's a suspect.
God.
Yeah.
What a nightmare.
Yeah. Now, as the investigation continued, a more full picture of what happened starts to take shape. During his initial interview with police, Charlie tells them that he had originally told Aaron just to run away, just to like run away from the house.
Oh, wow.
But she was the one who was insisting that killing her parents was the only way that they were going to be together. Now, again, from Texas Monthly, quote, "I ain't got no conscience," Charlie said to the investigators about his decision to follow through on Aaron's wishes. "I joined the army to do whatever needed to be done without thinking. As for her parents," he said, "I intended to kill them because I thought I was in love," end quote. Yeah.
Jesus.
Initially, Charlie, Charles, and Aaron were charged with 3 counts of capital murder. They had pretty much decided that they weren't going to seek the death penalty for Aaron, but that they would for the other 2. And I think it had to do with Terry coming to them and saying...
I'm sure.
Yeah. But all of them had a $1.5 million bond. They were all being tried as adults because even Aaron was underage.
Yep.
She got tried as an adult. Obviously, with this happening, the community was reeling. Like, this was a small town.
This is crazy.
This is from NBC News. Quote, "Classmates described the Caffey's daughter and Wilkinson as inseparable and with few other friends on campus. Many were especially stunned by the arrest of Bobby Johnson, widely described as a good student active in theater at the high school."
Oh, that's so sad.
Which is, because I get the impression from what I've seen that she wasn't necessarily down to do this.
Yeah.
And probably didn't even think it was going to happen like that.
Probably not.
Like, she was like, I don't really want to drive you guys over there. And her boyfriend kind of talked her into it kind of thing. So,
like, oh, we're just going to go talk. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, obviously, she still made the decision to be
she
there.
did.
Right? But
It was a
like,
wrong decision. But it's like, we were all teenagers once.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Exactly. Charlie was also described as not really causing any trouble. Quote, other than constantly being told to remove the cowboy hat he always wore to school.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
That's
I imagine it like a Doug Dimmadome hat.
Doug Dimmadome.
All four of them would eventually plead guilty and take plea deals in order to avoid the death penalty.
Yep.
Both Charlie and Charles received life sentences without parole. Bobby, who had been the one waiting in the car, was charged as an accomplice who did not use a weapon and received 40 years in prison and would be eligible for parole after 25 years.
That's a lot.
So 25 minimum.
Yeah.
Aaron received 2 life sentences plus 25 years with the possibility of parole when she is 59.
Wow.
Terry being left as the only survivor of an attack that his daughter ultimately planned and carried out.
Yeah.
And now he is like literally the only surviving member of their family. God. Something that I can imagine would be very troubling for anybody.
You would think.
In interviews since the murder, he recounts being suicidal in the immediate aftermath and trying to sort of like grapple with being the only one left alive. However, he also said he really relied on his faith to pull him through, even allowing him to forgive his daughter.
Yeah.
In the time since the murder, Terry has remarried, and he's got 4 kids, 1 biological and 3 adopted, which I think is wonderful.
Yeah.
During the sentencing hearing, Terry was able to give a statement in which he said, quote, "In time, God has shown me what it means to forgive. Charlie Wilkinson, I want to say to you today, I forgive you, not so much for your sake, but for my own. I refuse to grow into a bitter old man. If I want to heal and move on, I must find some forgiveness in my heart. And that has been the hardest thing I've ever had to do because you took so much from me."
Wow.
Unquote. Terry continues to visit his daughter in prison.
Yep.
Asking some questions about that night, but really he's sort of said he chooses to believe Aaron's accounting of things.
Which is really sad.
It is. And it's probably easier
I'm
to
sure
believe
it
that.
is. Yeah. I'm not, hey, whatever you got to do, man.
Right.
I can't even imagine. But it is sad.
Right.
There's a lot of evidence that she planned that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the part that kind of breaks my heart because it's like it's great that you forgive your daughter, but you're forgiving her for what?
Exactly.
Because it doesn't seem like
you really acknowledge how much of a hand she had in it.
Right. Again, I'm not gonna tell anybody how to grieve, but it is sad. It's sad. She claims that she had been planning on running away that night, but changed her mind. One thing presented at trial were a number of phone calls Aaron made to Charlie. And one thing, these phone calls she claimed were to dissuade Charlie from even coming to the house. She's like, I don't want to do this anymore. But Charlie was already on his way there.
Right.
Now, this is again from Texas Monthly. Terry says, quote, I think she thought Charlie was just blowing smoke. I don't think she actually thought he would go through with it. I know my daughter. She cried one time when we were in my truck and I ran over a squirrel. She's tenderhearted. No kid's an angel, but I know what she is capable of, and I know she's not capable of murder.
That breaks my heart.
Which part of me is like, you're right, because she had to get somebody else to do it for her.
Right.
Because it was her own family.
Because she couldn't do it herself.
Right. So I'm like, in a way, you're kind of right.
Yeah.
Like,
she's probably sensitive, but that doesn't mean that she's innocent. That's so sad. I feel so bad for her dad.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he is living a wonderful life.
Yeah, he seems like he's got like a good mindset.
It's just a very tragic
It's so sad
thing. Now, since the trial ended, almost everyone involved has done extensive interviews with various media outlets, as well as tons of coverage on like true crime outlets and TV shows.
I don't think it on Dr. Phil.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. I saw it. This has been covered a lot. I don't think we've ever covered it. And frankly, is not a case that I'm the most familiar with.
I am.
But yeah. So both Terry and Aaron, this is what you're talking about, took part in an episode of Dr. Phil.
Yep.
I almost included some of this, but decided against it because a big piece of the interview is just Dr. Phil talking at her while she's crying. And I'm like, that's not super constructive. But as she's crying, he like hands her this handkerchief that just says Dr. Phil on it. It has the fucking logo of the show. I thought it was a tissue. I was like, oh, that's nice. And then they show her like dabbing her eyes, and it's literally like
he is like one of the biggest grifters of all time.
A fucking cloth handkerchief that has the Dr. Phil logo on it.
That is so
and I was
trashy.
Like, really?
He's been very lucky to have like a lot of high profile cases because he sucks.
Yeah, well, and now he's going on ice raids, so you know, that's
sure
whatever. Anyway. So I'm not gonna share that.
Yeah, but it is there if you want to look it up.
It is there, but
it's interesting.
I did want to include a short clip from a show called Killer Women with Pierce Morgan.
Yep, that
took place in 2016. This is 8 years after the murder. I'm gonna preface this by saying I'm also not the biggest fan of Pierce Morgan. He's kind of a piece of shit.
Yep.
But
every so often he has correct opinions.
But yes,
Broken
every so
clock,
often,
twice a day.
Every so often, right? But I will say this series was done pretty well.
He's good at this stuff.
He is good at this kind of stuff. Yeah.
He should be good at being a good person. Yeah. He should try that.
So I do kind of want to include it because it's one of the few times that you hear directly from Erin.
Right.
And it's a very interesting little exchange.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So let me get it pulled up.
Let me ask you some tough questions. You can answer them however you want. But I think you're in a position now in your life, and you've had a lot of time to think about this, where you can probably be more honest than you could have been maybe 8 years ago. What's pretty clear is that you certainly told people that you wanted your family dead. Why was that?
Well, I've talked to several young ladies in here, and, you know, they've said, well, I said one time when I was, your age, I wish my parents were dead. And, we say things when we're young and if we're mad, not realizing that you gotta be careful what you say. And especially, to whoever.
As you sit here now and you look back over what happened, how much personal responsibility do you now take?
Well, I'm still working on that, and please hear me say I'm not, I first got locked up, I do the blame game, but I know I need to for myself and then for others, take responsibility for my actions. And like I said,
What are those actions? What are you taking responsibility for?
It's just, I don't know. I've still got some things I got to process and work out.
Do you accept that your family would still all be alive if you had wanted them to be alive? In other words, that you could have stopped this at any time?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
You accept that?
Yes.
That in itself must be a terrible burden on you, that you had that power to stop this happening, but you never chose to take that choice, that option.
Okay.
That's crazy.
You can see why I wanted to include this clip.
You had 8 years and you're like, sometimes you just say stuff when you're young. Yeah. When you're like young and silly. It's like, girl.
A thing that I like about Pierce Morgan is that while I disagree with, I would say, 98% of what he says,
I agree,
politically and otherwise. He is very good in these situations.
Yeah, he is.
Asking very pointed questions.
But still being sensitive.
Because he's not dumb.
No, he's not.
He's not dumb at all.
I find it actually really sad that he has chosen to be conservative. Because he's done a whole thing with this, going to women's prisons and speaking to women inmates. And the way that he speaks to them, I think is respectful, but he doesn't let her get away with it.
No.
Oh, I do take responsibility.
Yeah,
he's
but
like, for what?
What are you taking responsibility for?
Why don't you talk about it?
Answer
she can't.
That. So, and even him being like, what do you take, like in the beginning saying, do you take any personal responsibility? And she's like, well, I'm working on that. And I think that's important. And he's like, yeah, but for what?
Right.
Like, that's the piece of it that I'm like, you can't even
acknowledge what you did.
Acknowledge literally any part in it.
No.
Like, you are saying I'm taking responsibility without being specific of like, even just saying for my part in this.
Right.
Like, without even being specific, if you were just to say, I'm taking responsibility for my part, somebody might ask you, well, what was your part?
What part?
But at least it's something.
Because even though you were in the car with the other girl, what she would have to admit to and what you would have to admit to are different things.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yep.
That's crazy. How unself-aware she is crazy. I feel like she's very manipulative.
Now I will say that was 2016.
Right.
So we are coming up on 10 years since that interview took place. So I would be curious.
Me too.
I would love it if he started doing 10-year follow-ups on
Me
some of
too.
these things. Because I'd be curious what her take is now.
Yep.
Because again, it's another length of time. Obviously, she's not getting out anytime soon.
Right. Nothing but time.
Nothing but time.
Maybe she can do some reflecting in that time.
Yeah. I don't know. So, like I said, it's clear from that clip that there is still a very big part of her that refuses to believe any of this is her fault at all.
Right.
Or that it was really anything more than someone taking something she had said out of context.
Throwaway comment.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here.
Right. But it is, I will say, also a very interesting episode. He interviews Terry. They like walk the property. They talk about the whole thing. It's about 45 minutes. I'm actually I have the link to the full episode.
Oh, cool.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I will link it in the show notes. It is pretty interesting. But yeah, that is the Kathy family murders.
Is sad.
I know. It's really sad, but it's just, I don't know. There's something about it that's like when kids, because they're all kids pretty much. They're all under 20, like 20 or under. And
no frontal lobes. Not a frontal lobe among them.
Especially not in those men.
No. Samurai sword. Fucking teenage boy.
It just is like how quickly things can escalate.
Right.
To murder for some fucking reason.
Right.
Is beyond me. Like, that's the thing that I think I'm like, I don't understand that. How did you go from like, I'm mad that my parents don't want us to be together, to be like, they should fucking die.
And your sibling.
Mm-hmm.
For what?
Because they would talk.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Talk to who? Get out of here.
Police.
Fuck the police. So you picked my least favorite topic on planet Earth. Love that.
Sorry.
No, you're okay.
It happens sometimes. I feel like you've done that to me before.
Have I?
Yeah, probably.
What's your least favorite topic?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really have that many, actually. There's not a whole lot for me that is like super duper off limits.
This is like the only, and it's just like the one you did wasn't like it's like babies and little kids.
Yes,
I know. I can't do none of that.
I know that's your. I try not to super duper focus on that.
I appreciate you,
but I know so that's your thing.
Today's pick, my familicide pick, is definitely super sad. And there is a pretty clear antagonist in the stories, as there usually is in these familicide cases, especially like you did child killing the family. I did a father killing the family, which I think is kind of the more standard way to go.
I agree.
But
it does seem to me it's very rarely the mother.
Very rarely.
If it's going to be anything like that, I feel like it's the mom taking out the kids.
Yes, but not
versus
the husband.
versus like everybody in the family. Yeah.
Yeah, it did. The people seem to go about it differently.
Yeah.
And this one isn't that unusual in that, like, as you listen to this, even if you haven't heard it before, you're like, I've heard of stuff like this happening before. Mm-hmm. But I think the real evil in the story is capitalism.
Oh, God. Here we go. Here we go.
I climb delicately onto my soapbox.
Yes.
Hear ye. Absolute. Lots of money corrupts. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with you, Rachel.
I'm not
this
saying
is supposed to be a fun and happy-go-lucky show.
But that doesn't mean I can't tell the truth.
Yes, it does.
I'm here to lie to you, friends.
Capitalism is great.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's
Yeah, we need to thank our
not.
capitalistic overlords.
Ew. Thanks for being so stupid.
Oh, gosh.
So this is the story of Chris Foster.
Okay.
And the Foster family murders.
Okay.
So this took place, and the actual murder took place the 26th of August, 2008.
Okay.
Chris Foster murdered his wife and his 16-year-old daughter, and just like your story, the house was set on fire.
Oh, okay.
All of their neighbors, this was another one that was like a big shock. Not so much, I feel, because it's like, obviously it's always shocking when like a teenager commits murder.
Right.
With this one, it was shocking because they seemed so successful. Like no one saw this coming at all. This was a big shot in the dark. So Chris had been just sort of an ordinary salesman, was just sort of doing his thing. And I thought this was so funny. I read in an interview, inspired by the Piper Alpha oil rig explosion of that year, he seized on an idea to invent a new oil rig sealant.
Okay.
So this was like a big problem apparently for oil rigs. They needed like a new kind of seal. I just thought it was so weird where he was like inspired by this. He went on to have success. It's like you're inspired by like a
I watched
tragedy.
that happen and I thought, how can I fix this massive problem in the world?
More sealant.
Yeah.
And this sealant is called Ulva Shield, which I think sounds kind of
so you're
like...
going to say flex tape.
I love the tape does not work. The sealant works so
does
good.
It?
It does work.
And I always just think my favorite flex tape meme is when he's like, it's like worker rebellion and he slaps it on. It just says pizza party.
I love that one.
When I was working for a previous employer that I will not name, that I was not necessarily the happiest at. And everybody there was kind of fucking miserable. We had this girl who had started a couple months before and something was happening and they decided to do a pizza party for the graphic design department. And she responded to that thread with that meme.
Stop it.
I don't know if she did it on purpose or if she didn't realize that our manager
so
was all,
funny.
it wasn't like the whole company, but like our manager was on it. And the rest of us fucking died.
That's amazing.
But we all like, because it was a very like our area was very open concept. So we're all at our desks, but we're all looking at each other like. I don't think anybody responded after that, but we all died when she said that because we went, oh.
It's like, well, it's not untrue, but
she
I
wasn't
would
there for very long after that, but I don't think it was related to that. It was like she was there for like a couple months, but it wasn't like, But that shit was so funny. Funniest. That's why I love that
amazing.
Meme. It was so good. Anyway, sorry. Meme culture.
That always makes me think when I was at a previous employer, they did the same thing. They do like a little financial meeting thingy every year. And it was always like, well, it's not paid, but if you stay, you get pizza. And also you have to stay. Like it was kind of like one of those things.
Yeah.
And I was super pregnant. And like the whole day I was so pissed. It was just like, hormonal rage.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just got to get to that pizza. I got to get to that fucking pizza. And the managers took the pizza and we didn't have any pizza. They gave it to like all of the upper people first and didn't leave any for us.
The pizza is the motivation.
You should have seen my
also
big
that's illegal.
Basketball belly rage.
That's illegal. They can't require you to be there for something and not pay you for that. But we didn't know that back then.
Right. I was young and dumb.
Young and naive.
And full of baby.
And pregnant.
I could literally, if you've never been pregnant, you can't even imagine the fire that went through my veins. I like went up to them. I was like, where's the fucking pizza? Give me the pizza.
Oh my God. Jeezy, crazy.
Give me the pizza. So by 1996, Chris, who, has the odd hobby of being inspired by terrible disasters, he was like, this will draw me to invention. So he patented this product called Ulva Shield, which to me sounds like vulva shield.
Yep.
So it sounds like a yeast infection.
I would appreciate.
Vulva shield.
I want a shield for my vulva.
Pew, pew, pew. Yeah, I'm so vulnerable.
It's not, okay,
I'm so
it's not a vulva gun laser gun show. It's a shield.
Well, you said defense, so I immediately thought pew pew. Why can't I have a few pew pews?
No, no.
What if I patented it?
I don't want my crotch shooting lasers haphazardly.
Try to take my,
I feel like I wouldn't have enough control over that. Don't like the idea of that.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
Just lasers shooting out of your pants at
do you remember Robin Hood Men in Tights? She had the chastity belt and it was like the metal underwear with like the chains. That's what I'm picturing. Vulva shield.
Me too. That's really what it is. It's the chastity belt of sealants.
But it apparently was this like really good product because it made him a ton of money.
Okay.
So behind this product, he was able to form a company kind of like around it, and it went like huge.
Okay.
Like skyrocketed. He was super, super, super successful and quickly became a millionaire.
Nice.
And unfortunately, and we all love that. We all love getting more money.
I would love to do that.
Money is good. You know, he was just a salesman. He had this idea and it's working out really great for him. Okay. Yeah. So I feel like if I were to become a millionaire, I'm boring and I would live within my means. But Chris was like, I'm getting an Aston Martin.
Oh my God.
And
I mean, we all
Porsches.
want to do that, but you shouldn't do that.
And I'm getting my wife a different, like, and they're buying horses and of course he's getting this massive gun collection, which I feel like isn't a great thing to have. He's a member of the local shooting club. He's like, driving around in his fancy car, shooting around.
I'm sure he was doing both at the same time.
Probably just shooting out the window like, Vulva shield.
Guns in the air, yeah.
And he dressed like very flashy, which like, you know what? You've got the money. Okay. However, he, I think, should have spent those first dollars, maybe the first paycheck, on like a financial manager.
Okay.
Because you really shouldn't just like spend your money because then you won't have any.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. He was spending way beyond his means.
I literally don't have that amount of money, but I do have a financial advisor because I'm not dumb.
That's smart.
Yeah.
I
need somebody to do. He would be really good at it, but I need somebody to tell me what to do because I don't understand finances.
Me neither.
Or accounts.
It's so complicated. Oh my God, way above my pay grade. No
super
way.
duper above my pay grade. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Not for long.
Yeah.
So
true.
Moving on up. Luckily, he's smart enough to come up with this fantastic product, right? And it's obviously making this money in for him, but it doesn't make him smart with money.
Okay.
So that's kind of where he was failing.
Yeah.
Was by not, maybe asking other people, should I buy like 4 Porsches?
Right.
And they would be like, maybe just 1 Porsche.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe a Honda Accord.
Maybe a Nissan.
Liam Neeson's Nissan. So this was in 1996. So by 2005, he was kind of slowing down.
Okay.
Well, he wasn't slowing down, but the money was slowing down.
Okay.
By which I mean he had racked up debts to the tune of like 2.8 million.
Goodness.
Pounds. I don't know if I mentioned this is in
pounds.
Yes. This is still
a lot of fucking money.
This is an English crime. I don't think I said where it was. No. England.
I did imagine a guy in California.
As soon as it said Aston Martin, I was like, oh, England. And then when I looked at it further, I'm like, yeah, it's England.
Oh, I mean,
it's such like an English car.
It is an English car.
I know you can get it in America.
A rich people car.
It is, but I feel like and even though these aren't American cars, I feel like every American's like Lamborghini, Ferrari.
No, Porsche.
Porsche, really? Yeah. You do work at least,
I was going to say, at least in the legal world, it's a lot of Porsches, it's a lot of Teslas, it's a lot of BMWs.
BMW?
Yeah.
Ugh.
A lot of Teslas, dude. Ugh.
Yeah, that's gross.
It's pretty
super
gross. Pretty gross, but a lot of BMWs too. The BMW is hot. Porsche's hot.
Aren't BMWs like big vans all the time?
No.
Are they small?
They do make sports cars.
Whenever I think BMW, I think of like a big old car.
And they do make like more SUV type cars.
This is the car podcast. I don't know about fucking cars.
I don't know. We also are not car experts.
I don't know anything. So. It's so dumb. So he's starting to realize like, okay, I am kind of running out of money. I have all of these debts. I feel like collectors are calling. They're like, hello, Chris, please give us the money that you owe.
Sure.
So he's like, okay, he's like, how do I kind of cut back a little bit? Let's cut back responsibly. Just kidding. I think that instead of getting the like chemicals and things that I need to make this Ulva shield, I'm gonna just like get like cheaper shit and make like shitty Ultra shield
and not tell anybody.
Yeah,
love that.
So there was this whole thing that was happening because like he had deals with the original manufacturers, and so they were like, you cut out on our deal. So now he's getting all of these lawsuits. They're suing him for damages because they're not getting the Vulva Shield money, and it's just, like everything is piling up on him at once. And by 2007, he had to liquidate his company.
Damn.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Legal fees are not cheap.
Yeah.
So this is the thing, because like as I'm reading this, as a wife, not a rich wife, not an Aston Martin wife, but a wife.
But a wife
I'm
nonetheless.
Like, what is she thinking about this? She might not have known.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty unclear. And his daughter by this time is a teenager. She's about 15, 16 years old here.
Okay.
So she probably had no fucking idea. But the wife, like, a lot of people who were like around the family were like, yeah, it seemed like he was having like some difficulties, but we just figured it's like business stuff. We didn't think it was like a big deal. We just thought he was stressed. And she may not have known like really any of it.
Right.
Like because he lied to everyone.
Oh, I'm sure.
Was not telling anybody the truth.
Yeah.
And they said, like, when they talked to his friends afterwards, they were like, he would come to parties the same. You would never know he was losing money because he's pulling up in his fancy car and his fancy suit.
Yeah, literally.
Fancy cocaine.
I think when you're somebody in a position where you literally own your own company, people are just like, oh, he's stressed. Every time it's chalked up to stress.
Right. And that's what I would assume, because I really don't understand anything about business. So I'm like, boy, that sounds stressful. But look at your fancy car and clothes. You're probably doing great.
Right. Literally.
I'm wearing sweatpants with a hole in it.
I'm like, did you know that my bank account was overdrawn yesterday? I'm sorry. Let me get out of the way of your Aston Martin.
Yeah, really. He's like, ew, move. I'll run you over. And he was still bragging to people. Like, it's not like he was like, oh, yeah, we're probably doing okay. He was like, I'm doing so good.
Look at how well I'm doing.
Pounds.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, this kind of makes him seem like an asshole, but everyone who was close to him said he was like very warm. He was very friendly. A lot of people, I thought this was really sweet, talked about his like he had a very good like firm handshake. Like he would really get in there and grip your phalanges.
Okay.
So he's putting up this like nice appearance this whole time, so nobody really suspected.
Yeah.
So on the inside, however, he's crashing out.
Yeah.
And he begins to withdraw a little bit after the liquidation of his company. They start noticing he's not coming around as much. And they're like, well, he has this amazing 15-acre property. And I feel like a lot of rich people are like, I have to stay and like make sure all my rose bushes are the same size and everything. They kind of withdraw to the property. Yeah. And that's what he did. He was spending a lot more time at home.
Okay.
And it kind of became like, it was very like king in the castle.
Yeah.
Like he's like becoming a control freak because this is like one of the only things he has left.
Sure.
They haven't taken it from him yet. So he is like on a tractor, tractoring around, getting his grass. So he's just like doing all of this work around the house, I think trying to feel useful.
Okay.
So during that time, there's not like a lot of paper trail of like what he might have been thinking, but by this time it says he had, quote, no less than 20 bank accounts overdrawn. And at this point, even though he was still staying at the home, he didn't own it anymore. This is by like 2008.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oopsie. So at this point, he still had like a housekeeper and everything. He was still like kind of like able to keep appearances up a little bit. But his housekeeper said one day he came home and she was like, oh, hey, letter for you. Some people came and got a letter, and he looked at the letter. She didn't know what the letter said. Yeah. Figured it was business stuff, but she said he like looked at the letter, looked very distressed, and then just kind of like put it away and was like, okay, no, it's fine. All right, bye. Thanks for the letter. And she was like, wow, he really looked upset. I hope he was okay. Inside the letter it was from the bailiff's office saying, hey, we're about to come take all your shit.
Yikes.
Repo man is on the way. We're coming with a bunch of dumpsters.
Yikes.
We're taking your shit. So he had just gotten that letter like, hey, next week, That's our stuff now.
Yeah.
So he was like, oh.
Well, at least they gave him warning.
Oh. This is the thing. This is like a detail of the case that I thought was really weird. So this is like the day. The family were invited to like this is so rich people. Him and his friends were going to go clay pigeon shooting and have a luncheon on the grounds.
Also very English.
Very English.
I've been watching Ladies of London recently.
Oh my God.
And that is that's some very English shit. Yeah.
Get the pigeon. It actually kind of looks fun.
It does look fun. I would do that.
Honestly, I would do that too. I think that looks fun.
Yeah.
They were probably barbecuing like Grey Poupon and, I don't know.
Barbecue? Okay, we're just going to move on.
Pheasant and unicorn.
Barbecuing Grey Poupon. Okay.
So there were a lot of people there. It was, it was a gathering more than a party, but like decent amount of people there. Obviously, afterwards, everyone was interviewed and everyone said that he seemed happier than he'd been in a while, almost like a weight was lifted off his shoulders.
Oh, no.
Now, for us true crime people, it's kind of like, oh, no, that means the worst. It's often said that people who are like suicidal, once they've made the decision to end their life, they enter this period of like euphoria because it's just that weight that's lifted off of you where you're like, am I going to do it? Am I not going to do it? Obviously, if you're having bad thought, please seek help.
Yes.
But this is a very common psychological phenomenon. So like if you know someone who's struggling and all of a sudden they seem real chipper without like, hey, I'm chipper because I've been going to helotherapy and I got a new apartment and a goldfish. If they're just chipper for nothing, it's kind of a red flag. Not victim blaming, but like kind of weird that all of a sudden he went from a hermit in his big fancy house to all of a sudden I'm very happy and cheerful at a party, even though I have no money. Yeah. So it's like kind of like eerie because they were like, we had a great time with Chris. He was great that day.
Yeah.
So sad. There's a bunch of pictures from the party too where they're all like, yay!
Yikes.
Look at us all together.
Yikes, yeah.
So they went back home. They enjoyed the party. They went back home around 11:30 p.m. Chris told his daughter, who was 15 years old at the time, her name was Kirsty. She was a good student, liked going to school, had lots of cute little rich girl hobbies. He was like, you know what? It's 11:30. I think it's time for you to go to bed.
Okay.
Had a big day. She was like, okay. Night, Dad. Night, everybody. Around 3 a.m., so at some point, Chris and his wife, Jill, had retired to bed. And then at 3 a.m., he woke up, went to his gun collection, collected a couple of firearms, went to his wife's room and shot his wife, Jill, in the back of the head while she slept.
Yeah.
He then went into the daughter's room and shot Kirsty, also in the back of the head.
Oh, no.
The only thing that kind of... It's obviously horrible.
Right.
I'm glad they were asleep.
Yeah.
And Kirsty, they were able to tell afterwards that that nobody woke up.
Yeah.
They didn't wake up. So like, I would be afraid that she would hear the gunshot for her mother and wake up and be afraid. That's what always like really like weighs on me is like they were scared.
Yeah.
But at least she didn't wake up. I take a little comfort in that.
Right. Yeah.
He wasn't done. So you'd think, that's enough. He then went on to go through the house. Remember I said earlier he had a bunch of horses? Shot his horses, went through the yard, shot his chickens and ducks, went through, I couldn't watch the video because there's surveillance video because they had a lot of dogs and he shot the dogs.
Oh.
And then he took the dogs and like put them in the horse stable. They were big ass dogs, dragging all of them into the horse stable, which he then set on fire. Then he went and I had to look up what this was because it said he made sure to block the driveway with a horse box. I'm like, a what? A horse trailer.
Oh.
He had, for like transporting
British.
the horses.
Yeah.
So he, this is like very, very eerie. After he had killed all the animals and set one of the fires for the horse stable, he took the trailer and backed it up into the driveway, blocking the driveway, and shot out the tires because he didn't want the first responders to be able to get there to extinguish it.
Right.
So he just completely blocked off the way.
I love how you're like, this is my least favorite topic, and then you choose a story that has literally all child and animal.
I know. Isn't this
like
awful?
Tons.
It was horrible.
Jesus, Rachel.
But I think that to communicate that capitalism is evil is important. I'm getting dragged out of the room. Capitalism!
Oh my God.
As the fire took hold, he turned around and he set with an accelerant, he set the fire to the main house as well. Mm-hmm. So it's already on fire. As soon as he finishes with the horse trailer, he goes back inside and gets back into bed with his wife and just laid
waits.
down. Yep. I'm surprised that he didn't shoot himself.
That's what I'm thinking.
But he didn't. He died of smoke inhalation.
Oh my God.
So he didn't even burn to death. He just kind of like went to sleep. He didn't have like drugs in his system or anything.
Oh, that's extreme.
Yup.
Holy moly.
When firefighters arrived, because obviously neighbors called the police and were like, there's smoke, and they went up and they were able to get around the fucking horse trailer.
Yeah.
But the fire was so massive, and like I said, 15-acre property, it took 3 days to extinguish the fire.
Yeah.
3 whole days.
That's a lot.
All of the newspaper articles, so it's not just me that has this takeaway, were using the quote, money is the root to all evil. That was kind of like the takeaway of the case. And I don't want to say that as taking responsibility away from him, right? Because he did this horrible, horrible thing.
Right.
But I can understand how the pressure to provide weighed on him so heavily that he did this horrible, horrible thing.
Right, right.
He was described. So afterwards, like all of his like immediate friends and family were like so surprised and shocked. Like they couldn't believe that he had done this. But then when they looked a little further into his past, when he was in school, he was a bully.
Okay.
He bullied people, and people described him as a narcissist, as very controlling.
Really?
And then as they got even closer than like maybe his like party acquaintances, they found out that he had hit his wife at least once.
Okay.
That people knew about.
Jesus.
And, you know, if you think about the themes of familicide, it's all about power and control.
Yeah.
How much he tried to control that final situation, even like blocking the gate so that the firefighters couldn't do their job. And it's like, bro, you're dead anyway.
Right.
He wanted all of the creditors and stuff to get nothing. He didn't want anyone to get any of his property, any of his stuff, any of his Aston Martins or his horses, which would have probably sold for a lot of money. Mm-hmm. None of it. And he didn't want his wife to have it, and he didn't want his child to have it.
Wow. He's a winner.
Yeah.
He's a winner.
Winner, winner, chicken dead. So that is the story of the familicide, the family murders of Chris Foster.
Wow. That is wild.
Isn't that an awful one?
That's awful. Yeah.
Stressed me out.
So when you are with your family at Thanksgiving this year,
put down the accelerant.
Be thankful no one is trying to kill you.
Yeah.
I guess.
Gobble, gobble.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. And you know what? Maybe sit around the turkey and check out this podcast.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Margot P.
And this is Margot D. And we are the Margos.
We are the Margos, co-hosts of the Book versus Movie podcast. We are the podcast that talks about films that are adapted from books. We read the book, we watch the movie, and then we decide which we like better, the book or the movie.
Now, I know what you guys are going to say. Duh, the book is always better than the movie. To which we always reply, have you ever read Jaws?
Read Jaws? We are not film experts or literary geniuses.
Nope, we're just two friends who like to chat about books and movies.
We really like to go for a deep dive into the history of the book and the background of the author and the trivia from the movie set.
And most of all, we just like to have fun, so we never take ourselves or the books or movies too seriously.
You can find us wherever you sign up for your podcast under the name Book versus Movie.
And on social media, you can find us at Book versus and Movies. You just spell it all out.
Hope you check us out soon.
Well, that has been our episode this week.
A cheerful one.
Yeah. So cheerful. I'm really glad to be back.
Me too.
It was a much needed break, but it was almost just as busy. So
back again.
You know, we'll be here for the holidays.
Yeah.
And for the new year. It's almost 2026.
Ew. That doesn't even seem like a real number.
It doesn't.
That's gross.
It doesn't. Yeah. So,
yeah.
Do you have any final thoughts?
Don't kill people.
Cool.
The end.
Oh, cool. Yep. Cool.
No,
cool,
that
cool,
was
cool, it. If you enjoyed this episode, you can find more just like this at badtastepodcast.com. Our sound and editing is by Tiff Fullman. Our music is by Jason Zashevsky, the Enigma.
Woo!
This has been the Bad Taste Crime Podcast. We will see you in 2 weeks. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. On the hillsides along the highway.
It was as if a wave of evil washed over this town.
We are all people in some form or another.